Sacred 2. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a huge fan of ARPGs. Diablo, Grim Dawn, Torchlight, Path of Exile, all that stuff. But I've never really heard of Sacred. I've seen it here and there around the Steam store, but it's one of those games that's never really talked about around my peers IRL, so it was never really a game that was on my radar until the recent trailer announcing Sacred 2 Remastered. So I decided maybe I should go check this game out for myself. I grew up in this era of gaming and I still play a bunch of these older games, so to see what's up with this new title, I took a peek into Sacred 2 Gold. Experience the world of Arcane and Caria in its full glory with Sacred 2 Gold Edition, containing Sacred 2 Fallen Angel and the awesome add-on Ice and Blood. Defeat countless dangerous enemies, capture powerful weapons and valuable treasures. Prepare yourself for the ultimate battle and become a legend. Which really tells us nothing about this game at all. Hopefully we can read through the key features. An immense, seamless fantasy world with gorgeous and detailed dungeons. The Light and Shadow campaign allows you to be a hero or a destroyer. Configure and develop one of 7 characters. Collect thousands of weapons and pieces of armor. Call your carrier imp whenever you want and let him carry your treasures. Charge into battle on your mount. More than 500 quests are waiting for you. I'm never gonna finish this freaking game. Going into this, I brought down my expectations to the lowest it can be, such as a requirement when playing one of these older titles for the very first time, because more often than not, I'd be spending more hours trying to get these games working properly than actually playing them. But much to my surprise, this version of the game is actually pretty decent. It supports 1080p resolution, I know I'm very behind at the times, runs natively on Windows 10, and features gameplay that, while straying from the contemporary ARPG formula, still holds up to this day, I'd argue. It also has this banger of an opening. I didn't really get to play this game much. I literally just dipped my toes into it. I took a look around, killed some mobs, walked a few more paces before deciding that I should probably play this game some other time because it was getting pretty late, and yeah, that was definitely the reason. But from what I've seen so far, it's definitely a pretty interesting title. It's really unlike any of the mainstream ARPGs you'll ever play in recent years. I was actually expecting this game to be one of those Warcraft-likes like Spellforce, but it wasn't. Putting aside its ARPG elements, I'd say this game really feels more like a single character RPG version of Battle Realms, if you guys are familiar with that. The animations are slowed down so you can really see what actions the characters in the game are doing, and it doesn't litter the map with hordes of enemies like contemporary RPGs do. Instead, the enemies here are grouped pretty sparsely. I usually engage in combat with one hostile NPC at a time, but sometimes I do end up against a larger group of enemies, but the most I've gone against was probably a group of 3. The number of enemies probably gets crazier later on in the game, but we can already get the vibe that this game is going for. Slow, methodical combat that isn't draggy or tedious, but just slow enough for you to enjoy every moment of the action. There's definitely something worth playing here, and even after getting into the world for the first time, I immediately understood the charm this game has, and why it has quite a cult following despite not really reaching mainstream status, in my region at least. Now, after playing this game, I kinda get why THQ Nordic wanted to create a remaster for this game. It basically kills two birds with one stone. One, it updates the game to the standards of modern systems, and two, it generates some much needed interest from demographics such as I that are interested in exploring unique ARPGs such as this, but just didn't have the title on our radar. I probably wouldn't have bothered checking this game out if they didn't announce the remaster and would have remained as yet another one of those Steam games that goes on sale for a soda and a bag of potato chips. But you know, I don't really think this game needed a remaster. Sure, some of the systems are dated, but the graphics and the UI and the gameplay all still hold up, and I don't really see how the remaster would invalidate this version of the game, the Sacred 2 Gold version on Steam. Like, they probably should have included some comparison shots for the graphics in this trailer, because I can't really see the difference between this and the one I just played except for the UI elements, which is, I think, looks even worse than the original. But I kinda get it. Unless they re-release this game in some way or another, it's just impossible for this game to reach newer audiences. But basing from what I've seen in the trailer, I kinda wish they did more, you know? Maybe not Oblivion levels of remastering, but enough to actually see a difference in visual fidelity at least. But who knows, maybe we're actually going to get something that's really substantial to the franchise moving forward, maybe a sequel, maybe a reboot, especially if this remaster actually manages to earn a considerable amount of revenue. It could possibly ignite a decision from THQ Nordic to continue making this kind of game, and then we end up in the good ending of a Sacred 2 style mainstream RPG that runs along with the mainstream giants like Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2. That's really about it for this video. I just wanted to check this game out because I'm a huge collector of games and, you know, a fan of these older video games because I genuinely think that game developers back then were a lot more creative when they weren't chasing safe trends and rather actually developing new systems, new technologies, and in extension, building really vibrant and enjoyable worlds that gamers such as myself were lucky enough to experience during our childhood. So what are you guys' thoughts about the upcoming Sacred 2 remaster? I'd really like to hear from you guys who've actually played Sacred 2, especially those who are actual fans of this game, because again, this game never really came up in any conversations I've had with anyone in terms of video games, so feel free to let me know your thoughts about this game in the comment sections down below, and I'd be happy to have a discussion about this game with you guys. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe, dislike it, and I am not an engineer.
Do not get your shitty videos right here. Watch more, drop more views. We'll be back with more, so stay tuned to Revo Radio.